Hi guys, today we'll be solving a sectional VARC. I hope that your prep is going well, and no matter where you are at with respect to your prep, just keep at it, and things will work out. So I'll be talking a little lesser today, with just because of one reason, because I'll be solving a lot. I'll try to be a little more vocal with respect to the rationale, how I am eliminating the options. Okay, and yeah, let's begin. Okay, so right from the start, um, okay, just give me a second. I think I can escape and start a note. This is going to take some. Completely forgot about the notepad. And there we go. So you all don't do that. I'll have the paper. So first question, second question is also VARC. Let's look at the third one. Third is also fourth one. Fourth is also something in the O section. Fifth, sixth. Okay, so okay, sixth I'll check. Six till 10. Okay, there we have it. The notepad is also open, so perfect. Now what we can do is start doing this exercise. So 7, and this is exactly how cat looks like, right? Because you don't know where the answer or the questions are going to stop. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it's 7 to 11, right? So there are what? 7 to 11, 5 questions there. 5 questions. What is it about? Astronomers have been able to sight the considering fifth planet orbiting. Okay, it's about planet. Okay, so it's about planets. And let's look at the objective questions. The passage principally intended towards. Okay, that's 11th. Let's get 10th. Which of the following distinct possibilities supported by contents of the passage? Very scope is too large. The passage is structured like. Okay, with once you read the passage, you'll be able to give this answer. So I'll consider that as an objective question. Most likely to disagree, definitely a subjective question. I to believe that there may be more systems with 5 or more planets. Okay, 7 and 9. We have it, 7, 9. These are two of our objective questions. Let's go on to 12th. Okay, so what is 12th about? Autism has a strong genetic component with 1. Okay, so it's about autism. I see Wigler. I see a lot of Wigler modeling. It's about some finding with respect to some. Wigler could be a person. Wigler could be some concept that they're talking about. And this is from 12, 13. Okay, 13. Let's actually begin categorizing also. So, which of the following is a major problem in uncovering the genetic basis of autism in terms of. Okay, good. So 12th is going to be somewhat objective. A purpose is served by first paragraph in relation to the passage as a whole. Okay, no. Most correct in context of the above passage. Above passage, no. Also could have been the most suitable title for the passage. Okay. 15, no. Only 12th actually was somewhat, I could say, 12 to 15. There are 4 questions, and this is about autism. This will be 12th only. So let's look at 16 to. Okay. 16, 17. Let's directly click on 20. Okay, no, yeah, perfect. We are still in the same realm. 21 changes, so 16 to 20. Cool. So we do have that. 20. There are 5 questions. What is it now? Why do we divide a minute in 60 seconds and an hour into 60 minutes while there are only 24 hours? Okay, this is basically about time and maybe times calculation. If that is like, how do you measure it? The science may be behind that, right? Most historians, Egyptians, following would be justified in the context above. Okay, so 20, no. Yeah, we have to go back. Author could have been all of the following except, okay, 19th, yes. Okay, 18th, in terms the passage could characterize which of the following. Okay, 19th I'm going to be keeping as that. The passage helps us answer which of the following question. Passage, family and attempt 2. Okay, question from here also was somewhat technical. This is going to be 21 to 25. I've already taken 5 minutes, so we need to rush. 22. Migratory birds often move in linear formation called echelons typically. Okay, so this is bird migration. Five questions, right? Yeah, 5 questions. Bird migration and objective question. Let's look for objective question. Is the writer most likely to agree with? No, too convoluted for me. Answered by the passage above. Okay. Passage could have been more appropriately titled which of the following ways. 23. Okay. Author ends the passage on a note of. Okay. 24th. The scope is much narrower, so I like that question. And the passage structured like which of the following, and a similar question was also asked before, and I did take that as an objective question, so take 24 and 25. There we have it. So even though and this is the autism is the only one which has the least one, and it's already okay, it's already almost 6 minutes are about to be up, so I need to fatafat look at this. This is PJ 1, 2 PJ, 3 summary, 4 OOO, 5 OOO, 6 is OOO. Okay, 3 OOOs I think, right? So summary, then there are, so I think OOO and PJ. So I think the first one was a PJ, then the second one was a PJ, the last 3, so 6, 5 and 4, 4, 5 and 6 were OOOs, and summary 1, 2, 3, third one was summary. I think that's good, right? So what we need to do is set the structure, and it's already 6 minutes almost. I'm taking a little over since there are many of these. So what we need to do is bird migration, there are 2, planets there are 2, so it's either of these. I like planets or a topic better than bird migration, so I'll take that first, then I'll take bird migration. Okay, then I'll take time calculation because that has 5 questions and I like the topic a little more than autism, so that will be third, and autism also has only 4 questions, so the odds of me getting that, I do like the topic, but the odds of me getting that right in 4 questions could be a little difficult, so that's why this is the arrangement that I'll be taking forward. Let's just look at the numbers. This is 7. Okay, there we have it, the 7. Okay, just shift this over here. Don't need this. Perfect. It's 33. Let's get to it. Astronomers have been able to say that the planet and mini Saturn of about 46 Earth's masses. Okay, that located 4th out of the star in a large gap between 3rd and the 5th planet, placing in the estimated habitable zone. Okay, so like mass. Although the size of the planet means that it is a ball of hydrogen and helium gas incapable of supporting pools of liquid, the finding raises the possibility of additional. Okay, the stars discovered to harbor an extrasolar planet or exoplanet. The 55 Campbell system has come to resemble a jumbo version of our solar system. Its 5 planets all seem to orbit along relative circle, and the farthest planet out, a behemoth the size of 4 Jupiters, revolves at approximately the same distance that separates Jupiter from the Sun. Innermost planet weighing more than 10 Earth masses, meaning it could have a rocky or icy core, lies closer to its star than Mercury does to our own. The new planet is situated at 0.8 Earth-Sun distances from star, or roughly the distance between Venus and Sun. Okay. Prior to this discovery, researchers knew about only one other 4-planet system, Manohar, and several 3-planet systems. Okay, prior to this, only this was known. Astronomers have been able to unveil 55 planets one by one during 18 years of repetitive measuring at observation California and Hawaii. Researchers were looking at the star, Doppler shift, the change in wavelength or color of its. Looking at stars, Doppler shift, the change in wavelength or color of its light as it moved towards towards and away from Earth. Okay, a star tugged by an orbiting planet will wobble slightly, which can be detected as regular shift in the star's color corresponding to time and planet required to complete an orbit. Multiple planets imprint multiple overlapping shifts, which require time and mathematical modeling of possible planetary arrangements. Tease apart. 55 Cancri outer planet, for instance, has an orbital period of 14 years and was only discovered in 2004. Okay, the latest planet was even trickier to identify, the researchers say. Astronomers are looking at several thousand other stars for exoplanets, but most of them haven't been scrutinized for as long as 55 Cancri, indicating that more systems with 5 or more planets are lurking in plain sight of telescopes. Fisher expects 55 Cancri to harbor additional smaller planets in the larger remaining gaps around the new find. Given that our solar system is so densely packed with planets, future ground and space-based experiments should have the power to discover Earth-sized planets. Okay, which may be anywhere, but the technology available currently is too limited to spot them. Okay, towards the end he gets a little iffy about this entire thing. Okay, so let's look at this. 7 and 9 we have categorized. Why does the author believe that there may be more systems with 5 or more planets? Our solar system is densely packed with planets. Okay, plenty of such systems have not received sufficient attention from the researchers. Not a sufficiently powerful telescopic technology, no. Such system discovered so far in this line of scientific thinking. Okay, that there may be more. Plenty of such other systems may have not received sufficient attention from the researchers. So the topic in the second half is talking about this. The others are randomly coming into play. So my best bet is this one. Okay, because plenty of such other systems have not received sufficient attention from the researchers. This over here for 18 years, right? And the planet even trickier, identify, the researchers say this is talking about this exact thing, right? So definitely that becomes the answer. Ninth is the other one, which I considered to be, what is the time? Okay, 29. Let's go. Passage is likely to be structured. A lecture on new development in astronomical research. No. A cautionary note on limitations of present day astronomy. No, it doesn't have that flow, because it only gets a little, not even cautionary. It's just his theory that what is the limitation. It's not a cautionary note, right? A report on a new astronomical finding, right? Because the planet that they found, that's what he is reporting. So this, by far among the three, this is the correct one, most correct one. A summary of what has been achieved so far in pursuit or discovery of planets surrounding the stars. No, it's not a summary of that. It is, maybe it could be, but more specifically, it is this. It is a report of new finding, right? They are discussing for a good chunk of the passage, they are discussing, and that's why I'll go with that. Let's look at the other question now. Let's look at 8th, right? The writer is most likely to disagree with which of the following conclusion drawn on the basis of the above passage. Okay. The newly sighted fifth planet around the star 55 Cancri, 46 times the mass of Saturn. Okay, is a mini Saturn of about 46 Earth masses. So 46 times the mass of Saturn. It's 46 Earth masses. So this is factually incorrect, right? Possibility of even 6-7 planets being discovered around this particular star. Yeah, that is correct. He has made argument for that. The most distant of all the planets discovered orbiting the star is heavier than Jupiter. Okay, no. That's fine. Right. If the possibility of life is likely condition of water, most likely it will not be found on the newly discovered planet. That's true. That's true. Because newly discovered planet में तो hydrogen है ना? यहाँ पे कहीं पे था. Right. So 8th one, I'll go with this. Okay. So 8th is done. How many are there? There is 7 to 11. Now I'm on 10. Which of the following is a distinct possibility supported by the contents of the passage? Looking at the star's wavelength can help us surmise whether it has got any planets surrounding. No, there was a point. Researchers were looking at stars, Dr. Shift. Changing the wavelength of color in light. Move away, right? Corresponding to time taken for planet indicates that there is planet surrounding. This one is most correct. Among these, this one is better. because even this is discussing the star's wavelength, right? Over here, move towards wobbly, which can be redshift corresponding to the time the planet requires to complete an orbit. There you go. Only a change in wavelength can be interpreted as indication of the planet. No. Change in color of the star implies it is moving towards the Earth. No. This encompasses all of the facts that is laid down over there. So that's why it becomes my answer. Let's look at this. Passage is primarily intended to make a case adopting better technology, discovering more planets in Cancri, discuss the reason for inability of... No. This is not the case. Adopting better discovered planet and others in 55 Cancri system. What difficulty astronomers face in discovering? See, he's not making a case. This goes away. Inability of astronomers to discover. This only happens for partial, and it just comes as an organic part of the discussion. I would, if I had to choose between this and this, I would go with this. Right? Newly discovered planet, because similar question was posed even earlier. So, yeah, there we have it. 7 to 11. Let's look at what was next now. Bird migration, right? Bird migration. So that is, I'll just enlarge this a little. That is 21 to 25. 21 to 25. Okay. Three birds. Okay, 25. Often move in a linear flight formation called echelons. Typically, we find B and J type structures, which are most readily recognized flock echelons. Other variations to these major patterns can also be found. A true V-shaped echelon is in reality less common than a shape formation. Studies conducted on several species reveal why do birds find formation too well corroborated and complementary explanations are. Right now, a major idea is to save energy by capitalizing on the upward vortex fields. Capitalizing on the upward vortex fields generated by the bird wings in the front. The second, to facilitate the job of orient communication among the flying bird. These two explanations are not necessarily mutually exclusive, and in fact both are supported by many studies. The relative importance of each of them no doubt changes as various factors like season of the year or the reason behind individual price change. During local feeding flights meant to locate food, for instance, orientation and collision events are probably much more important than the conservation of energy. But during long distance migration through the orientation and communication remain important, yet the case for conservation and by optimization of its position holds a greater importance for each bird. Where should the birds position themselves in relation to others to conserve the most energy as they fly in the air? And energy wave configuration calculations supply the answer. Analysts using photography have determined bird position have found them to almost always be located to enable the bird to earn some energetic advantage. The birds are not always at the expected optimal location. Meaning that other factors also come into play. Researchers have used the knowledge of birds visually access blind spots and visual fields to pinpoint the best location for a bird in a flock to maintain optimal visual positioning. The actual positions are usually having a positive correlation with these predictions, but are again not always perfect. The position of birds have been classified and has been found that some individuals occupy position to satisfy the energy conservation principle, others enjoy with contact placement, while the rest do not apparently respond to either benefit or are in position so as to gain from both the benefits available. The leaders of these bird formations change with time. Not been possible to discover the cause, frequency, and characteristics of these changes. Observation on a sustained basis of such flocks covering long distances are very difficult. Several intuitive predictions about the choice of formation the leader that immediately come to mind are age, experience, sex conditions, social status of the leader. But so far, researchers have been able to overcome the logistic issue to put these hypotheses to test. Birds have been trained, to fly in formation with small aircraft. Mass reports will lead an opportunity to test these hypotheses. Okay. It's an interesting one. Which of the which were the objective ones? 24 and 25 were the objective. Author ends the passage on a note of guarded optimism, unbased optimism. Small aircraft by some scientists, possibly their efforts, possibly. Guarded. I think it has to be between unbased or guarded optimism. Right. It has to be between the two, guarded optimism or unabashed optimism. Unabashed optimism would be a very positive thing. So that's why I'll go with guarded, because he says birds have been trained. Maybe, hopefully, opportunities, possibly their efforts will lead. So that's why I'll go with guarded, because he seems to be a skeptic while also being an optimistic person. Okay, the structure of the passage, like which of the following? Explanation of a natural phenomena with the help of a particular theory. An attempt to describe explanation natural phenomena with the help of a particular theory. That's not theory. They have found it, right? An attempt to describe and explain natural event in terms of two competing but mutually supplementary ideas. Okay, this could be it. An analysis of two competing theories of bird formation and their critique. There's no critique to it, so C will be eliminated. Natural phenomenon with the health of particular theory. Is there a theory? See, B is more correct than A. C definitely is out of question. A description of why birds fly in formation without any reference to any scientific. D is not at all in the game. So B is over A, so that's why I'll choose B. Okay. So now let's go over 21, 22 and 23. So which of the following questions are not answered by the above passage? Does energy conservation have the same importance during short and long? This is answered. Do the bird formation always have a leader having higher social status? This is something that they were speculating. So 2 is over here and 2 is over here. While 1 is something that they have answered, so that's why this becomes my third ka kya hai? Does the seasons of the year play a role in determining whether a particular theory will be able for bird behavior in a nation or not? No, it has to be that. Let's go with this. Now, which of the following statements is the right to most likely agree with bird formation vary in accordance with the bird species? Okay, there is positive proof for the theories of bird formation and position of bird within it. Yeah, 2 है and 2 1 नहीं होगा, 1 को आंसर ही नहीं किया, राइट. फॉर्मेशन अकॉर्डिंग विद द बर्ड स्पीशीज ये टैकल नहीं हुआ है, राइट. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस कुड बी द आंसर. 2 हैज टू बी ट्रू, पॉजिटिव. या theories of bird formation or position of the bird within it. Yeah. Item 22. The passage could have been most appropriately titled in which of the following bird echelons? What, how, why? Theories of bird echelons, energy conservation in bird echelons, scientific studies in bird echelons. I'm very okay. Theories of bird echelon तो नहीं है. These are not theories, right? Energy conservation is just a part of the passage. That's why that goes away. Scientific studies on bird echelons. These are not. I think this could be better, but I'll mark this as for review. I'm not too sure for it. This is fine. This I'm confused between the two. That's why I'm marking it for review. And also I don't have time now. I'm already in the less than 20-minute ka zone. So this is done. This is done. Let's go for time and calculation. Time and calculation, which is 16 to 20. Let's go for it. Chalo. Why do we divide a minute into 60 seconds and an hour into 60 minutes while they are around 24 currently the most prevalent number in the overall system in decimal, which possibly originated as a technically easier counting with fingers? The civilization that first split the day into smaller parts and that has used different overall systems, duodecimal and sexagesimal. So we find that Egyptians were the first to divide the particular day in parts. Then, okay, the first of the sundials they created were just stakes placed on the ground that indicated time by the length and direction by measured by shadow. By 15th century they had developed a more advanced sundial without artificial light. Humans at the time considered sunlight and dark periods to be two opposing realms. When sundials were first used for the Egyptians also observed a group of 36 stars which divided the circle of the heavens. The clepsydra water clock was also used to record time at night and was perhaps the most accurate time because at 24-day arose. The concept of fixed length hours, however, originated in the Hellenistic period. Hipparchus proposed dividing the day into 24 equinoctial noctical hours. Despite this suggestion, day people continued to use seasonally varying hours. Hipparchus and other Greek scientists, although we do not know why 60 was chosen. Convenient for expression fraction resisted by the first 6 counting numbers and also by 10, 12, 15, 20 and 30. Greek astronomer used a sexagesimal system to divide a circle into 60 parts about 100 years later. Normalize the lines of the latitude and also inverse system longitude that uncovers inverse treaties. Ptolemy expanded Hipparchus' work by subdividing each of the 360-degree latitude objects. Each degree was subdivided into 60 parts. Subdivided into 60 parts. The first division, this or first minute, became known as minute. The second segmentation, second minute. Okay. However, minutes and seconds were not used for everyday time period until many centuries of clock displays split the hour into halves. Never by 60. In fact, the hour was not commonly understood to be 60 minutes. It was not practical in the general public also minutes until the first mechanical display. Essentially, even today, many clocks and dispatch have a resolution of only 1 minute. do all the time division in this manner. So that's fun. That's it, but like I just wish there were more objective questions. Let's go on to the questions very fast. We have less time. The author could have been all of the following except science historian, horologist, science educator, ancient historian. Could be science historian, ancient historian is possible. B and C. I am confused between, I don't know what horologist is. So I think it would be safe to leave this particular question. Right. इधर से आप उसका basically निकाल तो सकते हो. Right, there was, I think the word was mentioned though. Wait, just give me a second. Historians, okay, without others, the concept of fixed. What if horologist is somebody who deals with time, right? Okay, it's fine. Let's move on, okay? Started from 16, so I'll go on 16 right now. I primarily attempt to offer a tribute to ancient, no. For their efforts in making timekeeping devices, no. It is possible, but it is not just a tribute. They have spent a substantial amount to even explaining how the science works, right? Explain the history of scientific development in the context of inventing timekeeping devices. Okay. B is the winner till now. Tell the reader why an hour contains 60 minutes, a minute 60 seconds, and day 24 hours. No, they have also explained the history. It's not just it. The reason behind invention of different timekeeping devices. The D is completely out of question. I'll go with B. This is a sure thing, I think. Yeah, passage helps us understand which of the following questions. Okay, what was the reason behind choosing 60 as the basis of astronomical calculation? Okay. When did the use of minutes start among the general populace? This they have answered, yes. So 2 becomes an answer, yes. Did the Greek build on others' work in timekeeping devices? Okay. What was the reason that Egyptians started developing timekeeping devices? See, I think it's 1 and 2 also. I don't know about 1 though. So, but 1 and 2 need to go together for me. So, 4th to nahi hai, started developing timekeeping. I think I'll go with 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Let's see. In terms of its nature, passage could be characterized as which of the following? Analytical, descriptive, syllogistic, normative. Analytical, it's not analyzing anything. I don't think it's analytical. That doesn't align with the narrative of the passage. Normative, syllogistic. I could actually, I would want to take a risk over here with respect to descriptive. Okay, I'll mark for review next. Let's see. And last one, yeah, this one we are not answering. And on to the last one, I think now, right? Autism. Yeah. And we have 13 minutes right now, so we'll try to wrap it up by 8. So we have 3 OOs, 2 PJ and 1 summary. Okay, 8 minutes I'll be assigning, so next 5 to 6 minutes I need to get done with this. Autism has a strong genetic component which one identical twin autistics, the other has 70% chance of having it, or is great and trying, so yet great and successful. Has been spent looking for its genetics to reveal the key lies in spontaneous mutation, novel alteration, parenting germ, line of offspring. Last year he formed a controversial theory for it. It suggests that female who develop autism was with a 1/4 frequency with which males do may carry the genetic profile for it. Bigler attributes the failure of conventional studies to their studies on families with more than one autistic child to search the difference in one genetic base. These differences could be an alteration in base called SNPs. Uncovering SNPs shared by affected people would uncover high risk people. The problem is locating the same target. They have implicated loci on 20 of the 23 human chromosomal pairs in his post-autistic research. Bigler and Sivat tried to define the role of the spontaneous mutation for copy number variation before human genome sequencing. Researchers thought an individual always have 2 copies of a gene. 2004, the team showed that even in healthy, they could go missing. Okay, good. On family, Families with only one autistic member showed up that up to 10% of non-inherited cases could be caused by these rearrangements. They found that the structural events were primarily deletions, leaving individuals with only one copy of a particular gene and leading sometimes to its functional disruption. Wigler unveiled a unified genetic theory, which he cobbled together by examining families with multiple autistic individuals incorporating both hereditary and spontaneous events. Families with first two children affected, he found that third-born male children have a 50% risk of acquiring the disorder, whereas the risk for third-born girl is close to 20%. Okay. From there, Wigler developed two-tiered hypothesis. Majority fall into the low-risk category, having spontaneous mutation. Contrary, high-risk families represent the fall manifest the disease when an unaffected individual, mostly female, carries a sporadic mutation. Of a male, the chances are roughly half. Although Wigler's model is seen as a simpler way to view the genetics of autism, others find it incomplete. Know that it does not explain observations of families with an autistic child in which either second or third degree. Okay, right. First degree relatives show mild symptoms, and the model fails to explain why girls do not get autism as frequently as boys. Believe that more data might help prove him. For instance, the girl-boy discrepancy could be explained if genetic modifiers are sex-specific. In fact, that might become apparent if researchers look at cases in which mother has an autistic daughter. Okay, fair. What is the only 12th question? Which of the following is a major problem in covering the genetic base of autism in terms too many chromosomes are responsible for it? There is very complex interaction among different chromosomes. There is no clarity as to which chromosome is responsible for it. This is basically what the passage is talking about. They don't know. Right? Yeah. Quantum mutation novel has been spent looking for it in unsuccessful effort. That's it. Not enough subjects are available for studies. No, that's not it. There's no clarity. That's it. This is good. So the following purpose is served by the first paragraph. It sums up the major point of discussion, which is then explain autism. They lay the basis for autism and then they just give an explanation or give a brief of what is, and then Wigler के बारे में उसका expand किया, ठीक है? Which is then explained by the rest of the sums of the major with the rest of the passage trying to explain why the efforts to decode autism have been unsuccessful. Okay. There are critics, but इसके बारे में negative शायद नहीं है. This is why the efforts to decode autism has been unsuccessful. No, but they are talking about what is the purpose of the first paragraph. Then it's one. Then yeah, not this. They have not touched upon this. Discusses Wigler's work and how it has been instrumental in accounting for genetic basis of autism. No. Highlights a major point, that is females carry autism more frequently. No. This is good. Which of the following is most correct in the context of the above passage? High-risk families often have male carrying a sporadic mutation, an individual having most correct, having a functional disorder single gene because the other copy has been deleted is a very common occurrence. In case of families with multiple affected members, males have a greater risk of being autistic as compared to females. Unified genetic theory of autism combines elements from two different theories and gives an integrated picture. Okay, this I don't know where it comes from. This I know that I have seen. Yeah. Right. कहाँ वो 50% 20% वाला कुछ था. Yeah. Focusing on the families with first two children affected. Multiple affected with the males. Yeah. He found that third born child have. Yeah. I'll go with this. 14th wala. Yeah. 14th I went with D. Should be fine. Which of the following could have been the most suitable? What is the time? Good. Autistic research, some new trends. Wigler's work on autism, some unanswered questions. The genetic basis of autism. Wigler's work, failure of conventional studies of. Okay, so this and this goes away. Wigler's work should be the hero. Now I am confused between genetic basis of autism, Wigler's work, and Wigler's work on autism, some unanswered question. Some unanswered question is a very negative connotation, has a negative connotation attached to it, right? While this I think is a little bigger umbrella in which this can be put into. So I'll go with that. Okay, so 2 for review. 2 I'm not attempting. Let's go on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so where's the summary? Summary is number 3. There you go. Yeah, 3 na, right. Once there was a man who would complain about the world around him for all the wrong things happening to him and label them as the cause for his suffering. To overcome the problem, his superstition caused him to change his residence to some other location. but the situation remained more or less the same, even changing his job as he wasn't on good terms with his boss and some of his colleagues didn't do anything for the trouble he was in. Having found a new job, things didn't fall in line. In his entire bid to change the world around him, he forgot to introspect. Okay. Examine and fix the loopholes existing within his own nature as he remained hot-tempered, restive. Shortly after the delicacy of a problem, the man closely studied his own character, introduced changes in it, and the things got better. Your own behavior leads to believe that the world is intolerable. Change your inner self and witness the world transform. Okay, we can become happy as soon as we are in the cause of our sorrow. No. B is more in line, I think. Lofty practices like meditation, introspection are very important. I'll go with B. It's a safe bet. This is right. For sure. Now let's look at 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6. Let's look at it. Okay. Food quality and quantity were unpredictable as contingent upon human forces such as trade routes as upon the vagaries of weather and natural cycles. During our hunter-gatherer past, which constituted 99% of history as a species, those omnivores taste served us well. We also quite frequently went without food for days or weeks at a time. We dined to capacity on a wide variety of nutrients, fair to save us from malnutrition and starvation. Contingent. Okay, these adaptations had long been in place when began its first huge revolution, agriculture. Allowed food storage. Okay. Hunter-gatherer past. This seems to be the first one. Considered 95 species, those omnivores taste served us well. And first trade routes as upon vagaries of okay. We also got to went without food for days or weeks at a time. Nutritious fare to save us from malnutrition and starvation. The first 4 is making a lot of sense. Like during our hunter-gatherer time, it's 5 minutes. So quite frequently went without food for days or weeks at a time. Right, we routinely dined to capacity on a whole variety of nutritious fare to save us from malnutrition and starvation. Right, so this and this are coherent ideas. So this is also then adding to the hardships, and this is also then adding to the hardships. I think if I had to choose, I'll go with 5th. And since it's theta, I'll take that risk. Okay, I'm not too sold on that, but yeah, I'll just, I don't have the time to mark for review also. You need backing for your assertions. In their desperate search to find some good use for the notion of knowledge, the philosophers sometimes say that knowledge provides the norm of assertion. Okay, what they have in mind is that you can't just say what you feel like. You're not supposed to lie for a start, and nor can you mouth random wishful thoughts just because you'd like them to be true. To the extent that this is our current practice, I would say we'd be better off without it. Knowledge provides the norm for assertion. Backing for your assertions. They have in mind is that you can't just say what you feel like. You need backing for your assertions. You're not supposed to lie for a start, and nor can you mouth random visual thoughts because you'd like to. Excellent. This is a 5th one. This I'm sure about. Yes. This I'm sure that this is right. We understand a lot about the atoms in the human body and the stars in the night sky. Okay. 3 minutes 49 seconds. Much more than we thought about the individual human as an example of life. It was Aristotle who first said that the life is something that grows and reproduces. Okay, there is however a difference between showing that life is compatible with the laws of physics and making the stronger claim that life is explained by them. In fact, scientists continue to debate the exact definition of life. Science has made amazing studies uncovering a deep and often counterintuitive understanding of physical reality about the atoms in the human body, stars in the night sky, much more than we do about individual human as an example of life. Honestly, this thing is all over the place. I could mark this for review and come to this later on. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this, so I'll be marking. Just give me a sec. Okay, you know what? Let's go on to the PJ. Except for vitamin C, all of the vitamins are present. Okay, they're high quality protein. Amazingly, this is okay. They come to us pure and perfectly packaged. Content untouched by human hands. Not the first line. Eggs are there you go. First line. Eggs are undeniably one of the nature's most remarkable creations. Both their high quality protein, amazingly complete, containing, come to us pure and perfectly that contains contents untouched by human hands. Their high quality protein. Okay, so this, okay, you get this idea, then you get the outer idea, like, okay, eggs undeniably, then how they come to you, and then you talk about because 2 and 1 they form one coherent dish, right? The high quality protein is amazingly complete, containing all the essential nutrients, the building blocks necessary for growth and general good health, and then except all of the vitamins are present, right? So this is a supplementary. So 2 and 1 is one group, and 3 will fit here. That comes very organically over there. So 4, 3, 2, 1 should be good to go. Okay. Okay, so last minute almost. The arrival of color television was a defining moment, stoking as it did. Okay, yet it was only 16 years ago that one of the country's biggest political debates was whether we could afford switching over to color transmission. For the post-Asiad generation, life without access to color television set is unthinkable. There has been a seismic shift in the attitude towards consumption spending that has redefined the concept of necessities and luxuries. Okay, there has been a seismic shift in the attitude towards consumption and spending that has redefined the concepts of necessities and luxuries. Okay, this is a little trickier for me than the previous one. Arrival of, okay, how was the final moments? Stoking. Desire of middle class Indians to acquire a status symbol. It was only 16 years that one of the country's biggest political debates was whether we could afford switching over to color transmission. Life without access to color television set is unthinkable. Okay. Honestly, this one I'll just mark for review. Let's go on to the 6th one again and try to answer this. We understand a lot about the atoms in the human body and stars in the night sky, much more than we do about the individual human as an example of life. Who first says that life is something that grows and reproduces? Okay, life, scientists continue to debate the exact definition of life. Okay, science has made amazing strides going deep and often physical reality. There is, however, a difference between showing that life is compatible with the laws of physics and making the strong claim that life is explained by them. I think I'll go with the third one. Let's see the next. And there we have it. That was fun. In VA, I think I second PJ. I could not string it together, so that was a difficulty. And with respect to the sets, I would say the sets a little difficult to read. Not all of, I think all of them were somewhat, they had their own set of complications. Autism one, I like the topic a lot. I could have read it a little longer had there been 6 questions, and I think I would have taken that particular the first, right? Anyway, regardless of that, I hope you all gained some insights from this, and no matter what, just stick to your guns, build your intuition, build on your strategy right now, and remember that last year only 16 questions pay, 99 percentile was there in VARC. So go with the LOD of the question. Okay, go with the LOD of the paper, not with your preconceived notions. Okay, thank you very much, guys.